Next, we're going to review Act 1, Scene 3, starting with line 19. The consequence for Macbeth, due to the spell that they're casting right now, is in line 19. It says, "Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid." Penthouse being a place where you would typically live, but they call it his eyelids, meaning he's never going to be able to sleep as a consequence of what they're doing. And this is important to foreshadow something that you're going to see later on. Notice here in line 31, before Macbeth even comes in, they have foreknowledge that he's coming in. Line 38 refers back to that last line in Act 1, Scene 1. Remember where we underline the alliteration, fair is foul and foul is fair? But here, Macbeth says, "So foul and fair a day I've not seen." Remember, he did not hear that line earlier, but he still feels that same sort of contradictory statement. Now we're going to go down to lines 48, 49, and 50. These are three of the most important lines in this scene. These are the predictions for Macbeth. You want to make sure that you underline and number these in your book. Line 48 is the first prediction for him, the title of Thane of Glamis. Line 49, the second, the title of Thane of Cawdor. And line 50, the title of King. Now look at line 52. Banquo says to Macbeth, "Why do you seem to fear things that sound so fair?" But we know fair is foul. Also in line 54, look at this adjective that Banquo calls Macbeth. He also thinks of Macbeth as a noble person. Notice that repetition of the word noble, and keep in mind the idea of a tragic hero. Line 60 and 61, Banquo wants to hear his own predictions, and he asks here, "Then speak then to me." And he wants the witches to tell him what's in store for him. So now we go to lines 65, 66, and 67. And these lines give the three predictions for Banquo. And again, you're going to want to underline and annotate these in your book. The first one is he will be lesser than Macbeth, yet greater. Not so happy, but he's going to be happier than Macbeth. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. Meaning he's going to have children that become kings, although he himself will never become king. Line 71. This is important because Macbeth knows that he already gets the title of Thane of Glamis because of his father's death. This is his birthright. But he doesn't yet understand about the Thane of Cawdor, which we know from scene 2. Now we're going to go down to line 106. Here, Ross, a messenger from the king, tells him that he has received the second title, Thane of Cawdor. So go ahead and mark that. And he's like, "Why are you giving me these borrowed robes?" Well, in line 110, he knows that this is not his title, and he's still living. You're supposed to get a title after someone dies. But because of what he did for treason, they're going to give him that title. So now Macbeth's like, "Oh, I got the first prediction. I got the second prediction." In line 119, he thinks to himself, "Oh, the greatest is behind," meaning like, I could become king. He's starting to believe what the witches predict. And then he says to Banquo, "Don't you hope your kids will be king?" Notice down here that they think of the witches of instruments of darkness. Notice here 132, supernatural, the element of the supernatural. That's part of an element of a tragedy. And now he's starting to think that maybe I'm going to have to murder him, but I don't really want to do it. So in line 145, he decides, if chance will have me king, then chance will crown me. He's not going to do anything right now. And they decide to leave together.